Do you think that the Tate brothers, for men specifically, are a positive net value, positive net role model, or negative?
Negative. I think they lead young men towards self-destruction.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wilson Brothers channel. I'm David, this is Isaac, and our never-ending guest, Jordan. Today we are reacting to PBD podcast, asking Liz Wheeler about if she thinks that Andrew Tate is good for society. So don't forget to subscribe and like this video because we're coming out with videos Monday through Friday and you don't want to miss a thing.
You better subscribe. Just kidding. You don't have to.
Here we go. I have not seen this, but I'm very excited.
Liz, you went after Tristan Tate August 8th, a month ago, 2 months ago. You said the following. Liz Wheeler claims Tristan Tate teaching young men how to deceive women and take their virginity. A conservative political commentator, this girl named Liz Wheeler, Liz, I think you would like this lady, and podcast host recently criticized Tristan Tate, brother of Andrew Tate, allegedly promoting deceptive tactics towards women. Wheeler shared a video where Tate discussed dating and said Tristan Tate teaches young men how to lie to innocent women to take their virginity. I'll do 2 or 3 virgins per year. I'll teach you how. Jordan Peterson even responded and supported you, saying for advocating family values and discipline, joined the criticism by sharing Wheeler's tweet and warning about the potential consequences of weak men influenced by Tate's advice. Peterson wrote, if you think strong men are dangerous, wait until you see what weak men are capable of. Sincerely, someone a while ago.
Whoa, what a way to start a video.
Shots fired.
This is the beginning of the entire clip. We didn't fast forward to anything else. This is the first part of the entire clip. And
what do you guys think she's gonna say, and what do you think the rebuttal's gonna be from the panel?
Yeah, go ahead and comment, because as we're going throughout this video,
we can see the timestamps of your comments.
Yeah,
too.
we'll get to see that you commented before this gets started, because this is gonna be interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, listen to this.
All right, let's watch this, and then let's get your take, and then we'll give our feedback here.
Like me and meet the women who I meet and roll in the circles I meet, you meet beautiful virgins sometimes. Me, I'll do 2 or 3 virgins a year. Now, how do you date a virgin when you're an ice cold player? There is a tactic which I'm going to share with you on how to date a virgin and how to take a girl's virginity. Now, the recipe hasn't changed. I think it's trolling. But the tactics and the implementation has certainly changed. Be their boyfriend for 3 months and be in a nice relationship with them. That is the recipe. I'm sorry, guys. You want to run into a virgin the next day? Don't ask me how. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows. I don't even think it's possible. You have to be their boyfriend for an extended period of time. You then have to take her virginity on the 2nd month anniversary or something along those lines. And I'm going to teach you how to do it while still being.
You can pause it here. You can pause it here. So it's a tool.
He can't. He has to laugh. Like PBD's can't. He's trying to not laugh.
Yeah, I've seen this clip before, and this was like maybe 6 or 7 years ago. And this was back when like Andrew and Tristan were still trying to like they were being super risque, like on their own channels. Like they were saying outlandish stuff
Grasping
on purpose.
For attention.
Yeah, just kind of grasping for attention, trying to gain traction. So like to a degree, I think just like Andrew, like this is kind of one of those things where like
but he did
to a
say
degree
it on the
he is
internet.
trolling.
He did say it on the internet.
Like,
he did.
So he knows that this would eventually happen.
Shouldn't they have more tact than that? Like you put something out, you better be willing to ride or die with that forever.
I mean, like,
well, I mean,
if I had been in the room with them at the time, I think I would have been
Not
like,
everything
hey guys, like maybe this isn't a good video to post.
He needed better like public, like
what's public relations.
Yeah.
I just want to say before they get into this debate, as the Wilson brothers, and David agree with me or don't, you better. We denounce taking a girl's virginity just to take a girl's virginity. Like that's wrong. You shouldn't just date a girl and say, "Oh, I'm just going to take your virginity," and then, "Oh, I want to have 2 to 3 virgins a year." Dumb. Don't do it.
Well, I don't like how he made it seem you're going on this game to play with them.
Yeah,
because
it's a game.
It's like you're dating them just to get to that point.
Yeah,
that's the problem. And many women and
it's
men,
like James Bond and Snoop Dogg had a baby.
Okay, we're continuing.
All right, continue.
All right, let's go.
Thoughts on this? Why you have a problem with this?
Well, I mean, the words that he used make it pretty clear. He said, I'm going to teach you a strategy. I'm going to teach you a tactic, how to manipulate a girl into sleeping with her, to deceive her into thinking that she is loved by me in order to exploit her, objectify her, and have sex with her. That's pretty disgusting, I think, by anybody's standards.
Adam?
I think one more comment I will make. The reason that I criticize him specifically, or that I've criticized Andrew Tate, is because at one point, Andrew Tate was the most Googled man in the world. He's incredibly influential among young men. And the reason, it's very interesting why he's influential, because he accurately diagnoses a serious cultural problem in the West. He accurately notes that masculinity is under assault, that men are told that they're toxic and bad. And he actually, to his credit, has the courage to say, I'm going to push back against this. I'm going to tell men to be men. The problem is that once he accurately diagnoses the problem, his antidote, what he prescribes, is self-destructive. He doesn't actually teach young men how to be good, strong men. He instead leads them towards pornography and materialism and exploitation of women and worship of self. So I think that makes him more dangerous because he does accurately diagnose a problem, but then his prescription for it is to lead young men astray.
She's half right.
She is half
so,
right.
I mean, the girl can speak. She can speak. My gosh, that was fantastic.
One thing to be very careful is to not to be extreme with they are bad in every area. Because she's even said he diagnoses a problem that we're trying to help solve. We're trying to help men to become strong because they've been emasculated so many times. But she is saying that everything he does is bad, which is not the case. We agree with some of his stuff. We disagree with some of his stuff. I agree with him helping men to get off the couch and do something with their lives. But if she doesn't at least acknowledge the ways he has helped men, because he's helped me in ways, and then there's a lot of things I disagree with him on.
Yeah.
It's not that black and white like she's making it seem.
I wonder what her relationship with her husband is like.
Oh, I guarantee you she's going to go into it.
She definitely has the pants in that relationship.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
it's kind of one of
I
those.
mean, he could be like a Brock Lesnar part 3.
She just said that he diagnoses the problems in society with men, meaning she wants a strong man.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
It's kind of one of those things. It's like, we've disagreed on. Really, the only thing we majorly disagree with the Tates on is their lack of sexual discipline.
Yes.
Because, everything else that they talk about when it comes to discipline, we wholeheartedly agree on. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, in this particular area, like, yeah, it's not a good message, but overall, like 80% of their message is positive. Like, I kind of believe that they are a net positive towards masculinity.
Well, they've also changed over time. This was, 6-7 years ago?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
So that's important to think about. Andrew Tate now looks back at the video that he did with the lover boy method of how to get girls to sleep with him, and he feels ashamed of it. He even in a video admitted that. So people are on this journey. I think some people were just too immature at the moment to release stuff when they're still growing. Because if you saw me how I was 12 years ago, I was careful not to put stuff online, but I wasn't like the Tates in that way. But we all change, we all develop, we all grow. But let's see what else she has to say, because she made blanket statements. I'm curious if she's going to give
Last
more.
thing,
Go
Paul
ahead.
killed Christians.
Exactly.
Then he went on the road to Emmaus and became the most known apostle that wrote most of the New Testament. Are we just going to throw out everything that Paul was written about Paul before he became a Christian? Or before he followed Jesus?
The most important part is this. They kept in the Bible the parts where he killed Christians.
Exactly. They didn't write it out.
That's the important things. We might have videos that will be offensive to people, but it's okay because of the fact we're on this journey and we're learning. We don't claim to be perfect, but we're all learning. You know what I mean? So is your biggest issue with Andrew and Tristan that virgin video, or is there sort of a symptom of a larger problem that you have with them overall?
I mean, that video is an example of the point that I make when people say that Andrew and Tristan Tate are good role models for young men. I don't think that's a good role model for young men to learn how to manipulate and lie and deceive women into having sex. I actually want to address that, but I just actually want to understand your perspective genuinely. Do you think that the Tate brothers, for men specifically, are a positive net value, positive net role model, or negative? Negative. I think they lead young men towards self-destruction. Okay, so you think that the words that they're saying, not the little clips, but their overall message is bad for men, not good? Yes, because what are they telling men? They're telling men you're attacked, you're a victim, and that resonates with men because that is a valid grievance, especially in American culture. That's why they've become so popular here. They were popular in Europe and in Britain, but they're so popular here the last couple of years because there is a war on masculinity. So young men are feminized, and it's a powerful thing when you take a valid grievance and then tell someone that the solution to that grievance is something that actually harms them. So I actually think they're more self-destructive than some people on the left because they're playing on a valid problem and prescribing something that's harmful to young men.
Just to be clear,
Hold on.
Yeah,
Didn't she just contradict herself?
Yeah.
Because she said that he is talking about valid things in society, about how men are being, feminized and all these things. But when he tells men to be strong, I guess, like, I'm kind of confused.
Let's see what he says.
Let's see what he says.
You think that their prescription is for men?
Pornography, materialism, exploitation of women, and worship of self.
That's what you think their message is to men?
That is what you can read all of their stuff, listen to all their stuff. I've extensively listened to all of their advice for young men, and they literally say, if you are not extremely wealthy, you are not a real man. Money is the most valuable thing. Like, money's great. We're all trying to make a living here. We're all trying to make money, but it is not the most valuable thing. That is a message of materialism. They've run pornography business. That's how they got rich. That's how they got famous. They pretend to back away from it now just to avoid criticism, but it's really just because they don't need to do that anymore. They constantly are talking about how to be a top G and how to manipulate women. I think that's an incredibly destructive message. Do you think that's positive for young men?
A lot of it I do, and I'll tell you why.
That video, do you think that video is?
No, I'll address that video, but what's interesting is he actually added...
For one, they're not teaching men to worship pornography. Like, yeah, they did come up using pornography to make their money, but have since kind of denounced that and have changed from that way. Worship of self, like they don't teach people to worship themselves. They teach men to get off the couch and go and work out and feel self-confident in themselves.
Yeah, there's the difference between self-confidence and worship of self.
Yeah.
Worship of self is arrogance. It's pride. It's not doing. It's only doing it because of me. It's not doing. It's do like the difference between arrogance, self-pride, and actual self-confidence. Self-confidence is I'm not only doing it for me, but I'm doing it because I want to help other people.
Yeah.
Well, she's misconstruing that he's helping men become disciplined. Just because you become disciplined in your life doesn't mean it is about worshiping yourself.
No.
If you're on the couch, if you're getting up at noon every day, and he says, get off the freaking couch, start making something of yourself, because if you want to attract someone that is a high value woman, you need to become high value yourself, which is kind of the basic of his message. How is that worship of oneself?
Well, he also has been saying, and I've listened to a lot of his stuff recently, where he says, stop looking at porn.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I feel like she only
he's gone out of his way to call people who watch porn and masturbate to it losers. So, no, he doesn't at all encourage that.
Not anymore.
In fact, I would take it a step further and say that, like, if you are completely against their message and you like to sit on the couch and you don't like to work out and you like to eat whatever it is that comes across your mind, you are worshiping yourself. Self-indulgence. You're worshiping yourself if you do those things. So doing the hard thing, eating properly, working out is actually the exact opposite of not worshiping yourself.
So I'll actually take it to a different things. I think it's not worshiping of yourself. I think it is just having a horrible view of yourself. Because when you're on the couch eating whatever you want, you're not actually valuing yourself as a person. If that's all you're doing, I'm not calling you out, but then you're just doing whatever you want to do because you don't value yourself and where you can go in life.
But I think you are calling them out.
Okay, I'm calling you out. Stop eating everything you want.
Calling you out.
You're calling them out, and that's okay, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to call you out. That's the purpose of this channel.
We call each other out. I tell Isaac to stop looking like a pony boy half the time, But it's all good.
Yeah, your body is a temple. Take pride in it.
Wait. A pony boy?
Pony.
All right, ghost producer, shut up.
The Nuance approach said you need to date them to 3 months.
But
how many women are going to date a guy
deceptively.
for 3 months that they are not interested in, that is not there for them, that is not providing for them, that is not protecting from them, that isn't there for them? You don't just slip in and fall into a virgin. I totally understand that. Is you actually need to date these women. So at that point, it's the woman's decision. So my question to you is, how many
you don't
men...
think that's deceptive? Like, he's deceiving them. He doesn't actually care about them. He's doing things to make them think that he cares about them.
You know what? Welcome to modern day dating, baby. Like, this is what happens out there.
No.
Men
Yeah,
do
that's
this
not
with
the
women.
answer
So I
either.
agree with her on this point.
No,
Liz,
he's wrong.
Liz, I agree with you. I think he's going to give a more well-rounded view. But based on what he just said there, him
Welcome to modern
saying
day
that
world
women
dating, baby.
women get to make that decision, yeah. But if the guy from the get-go is only thinking I have to commit to 2 to 3 months to take a girl's virginity, that is wrong.
Here's the thing about
That's in
Tristan's
my opinion.
Here's the thing about Tristan's video, though, that I don't think she understands, and I don't think he realized. Even though this might be Tristan's tactic to sleeping with a virgin. If people actually, like if men were to implement that strategy, I don't think she realizes that at men's core, they do respect purity in women. So like, let's just hypothetically say that a guy does go out and seek a virgin just because of Tristan's advice. The odds of him actually loving her in those 3 months and just sticking it out with her because she's a virgin and she's nice and sweet and pure is pretty high.
Yeah, but
the idea going into it is wrong.
Exactly.
That's the problem. It's the foundational. I'm going into this to take your virginity and then leave. It's not, oh, I'm going into this, oh, maybe because you're pure. It's a game. And he's doing it in this like hypnotic, very smooth, oh man, just follow me and I'll teach you how to do this.
I don't disagree.
Well, he even said in the beginning, he said, I take 2 to 3. I can't do it. I can't.
He says
2 to 3 virginities a year.
He says he takes 2 to 3 virginities a year, but who's to say that those women aren't behind the scenes, aren't actually his women?
Well, that doesn't mean
yeah,
anything.
but if he's a man, he needs to say that.
Yeah, but he's saying he takes 2 to 3 a year, and this is how he does it.
This was 6 or 7 years ago, but I do want to hear his response.
Yeah, let's go.
Women do this with men.
And you don't think that's destructive?
I think it is what it is. Whether it's destructive or not is your opinion.
Do you think it is? I'm interested in your opinion. Do you think that that's a harmful dating dynamic?
I don't think that is my objective to dating, going out there and taking virginities. That's not my thing.
Why?
But going out and dating multiple women, I've done that forever.
But do you think it's an honest thing to do?
I don't want
for a
to
man of
focus on the
integrity?
virginity. I want to focus on the
That's
bigger
the point of the
message.
video, idiot.
No, you're missing the point, Liz.
You're missing
What
the point,
percentage
idiot.
of men are million?
What?
I don't want to focus on the virginity. That's the point of the video.
He is trying to deflect a little bit, but
Actually, I'm going to fight you on that a little bit. That's the point of that video, but he's going based off of what she said because she mentioned every way that the Tates are bad for society.
I know.
So he's kind of fighting back on that a little bit.
Millionaires in the world.
I don't think that's the point. The point is what
I'm
they're telling
asking
young
you
men.
a question, Miss Liz Wheeler, because I respect your opinion. You're beautiful, you're smart, you're educated. What percentage of men are millionaires?
I don't know.
Take a guess. You're smart.
I have no idea.
You have
I'll Google it.
Fine.
Okay.
Tell me the answer if you want the answer. I'm interested in your point.
8% of men, let's say. What percentage of men are 6 foot with 6 packs? We just did this earlier.
I mean, I'm not 6 foot, but
Okay. What percentage?
a 6 pack.
All right.
I don't even know. What the 6
While you're Googling this,
I'm
millionaire,
Googling it 'cause I'm
millionaire,
interested in this.
6 foot, abs, in shape, actually a man who is good looking, fit, takes care of his person, a man who can provide, protect, be present for his woman. These, to become the top G, Liz,
What does
Do you
top
know-
G mean? What does that mean to you?
top gangster, like a top G.
but what does that mean?
A top male, a high value
alpha
man.
male, basically what you're saying.
What do you love about your husband? Go ahead.
I
tell me.
love that he is godly. I love that he is a man of virtue. I love that he is strong. I love that he is a man of integrity. I love that he's
How tall is your
faithful.
husband?
5'10".
He's 5'10". He probably rounds
Served
up
in the
to
U.S.
6 foot.
Navy. Worked
So he's
for
a-
Border Patrol.
so
he's
hold on.
dangerous.
been a medical
stud.
provider.
I met your husband.
I
Yeah,
was
you have.
wrong.
Yeah.
I did. So let me get this straight. He's a tall.
I was wrong.
You're wrong, son.
I was wrong.
Because the moment she said that society is trying to feminize men and that Andrew Tate is at least talking about what's wrong with society with men, I knew she was with a strong man. Because she wants somebody
Men or
that-
man?
Man.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Get this straight. He's a tall, good-looking, studly man who's done well for himself.
Yes.
Okay. Don't you think it's incumbent on most men to try to accomplish that?
To be materially successful.
I didn't say that. To be good-looking, successful, leader, in shape, lead men. Don't you think that's important for men?
I think the number one most important thing for men to do is to try to be godly.
she's
That's
missing
your
it.
opinion.
It is,
There's-
yes.
Okay, that's your opinion.
I'm
There's
answering
a-
your question, though. You're
Yes.
asking my opinion if
Okay.
I think those things are
I-
important. I think the most important thing for a man to do is to be godly. I think to provide and
So
protect
why
for
don't
his
you
wife
marry
and
a
his
priest?
children.
Why don't you marry a
Priests aren't-
priest?
Priests don't get married.
Okay, well, that's their bad. But there are some pastors that do get married. It's when you marry a pastor. If that's
But
the
the
most
family
important
unit, the
It's actually not
marriage
a
is
bad
a
idea if
domestic.
priests do start getting
thing.
married.
Is the
They'll
domestic
start
church.
diddling kids.
Takes the pressure off the altar, boys.
I mean, I feel like you.
I'm trying to see where you're going with this.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You're-
I'm not
give
sure
your
where you're
man
going
with
with
The
that.
point is this:
Zinger.
you're lambasting this man for accomplishing what very few men can accomplish. The fact that he's made all this.
Repeat to me what I said. When you say I lambast him for what he's accomplished, I don't care how much money he has. What did I say my problem was?
Why are you focused on the money?
No, what did I say my problem was with Andrew Tate?
You're missing the entire point of my point.
Tell me what your point is.
Why do so many men, not just impressionable 13-year-olds, men, grown men, 40 years old, successful, good values, moral compass, strong leaders, why do those men find him fascinating and resonate with him? Answer me that.
Yes,
why do grown men, not teenagers, actually love these guys?
Let me tell you why.
Yes.
And it's what I said before. Because Western
they're all toxic
culture,
masculinity?
you live in the United States of America. You understand that the most powerful politicians and the most powerful cultural influences, James Cameron, for goodness sake, in Hollywood, called testosterone a toxin. Men are told that if they so much as pursue a woman or ask her on a date, that they are sexually harassing. Men right now aren't afforded due process of law when they face frivolous allegations of sexual misconduct that could be to the level of criminal conduct. Do you understand how vulnerable this makes young men?
Yeah, so because I'm a man, I understand what it is.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I'm asking
let me finish one thing.
Why men resonate with him.
Because of how powerfully men react to being attacked. And then you have Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate coming in and saying, I see you, and that attack that's happening against you is wrong. You don't have to face that. I'm going to give you the secret to avoiding that and to succeeding anyway, when everything from the education system to our legal system to our culture is telling men that they are worthless, that they are bad, that they're inherently rapists. I mean, it's bad what's happening to men. They come in and say, I have a solution so that you don't have to live that. That's more powerful than a drug, Adam. That's why men find it attractive.
That is the greatest elevator pitch as to why someone should like Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
she literally said this entire problem with society that we 100% agree with, but then she's saying,
hey man,
but then,
I like her.
But then she's saying that Andrew Tate gives them a way to be strong and to be successful and all these things. So every society starts to change when the people rise up and start to speak out, right? With everything. So I love what she said.
I think she's threatened by them.
Well, to go back to the beginning, like, she was completely and entirely missing the point that Adam was trying to point out to her. Because, I mean, even studies show that women don't really understand what it is that they're attracted to. Like, there's a huge difference between attraction and arousal. Like, women are attracted to characteristics, right? If you ask a woman what they like in a man, oh, I like him to be funny, I like him to be charismatic, I like him to be this and that. And
maybe usually, I prefer tall or something.
Well, the tall and the dangerous, which is what her husband is.
Well, he's not tall.
Well, probably tall in comparison to her, right? Women seek men who are taller than them. They seek men who are dangerous, who are capable of protecting.
You're right.
That's what arouses women. And that's why she even like kind of looked a little uncomfortable by the fact that Adam initially pointed that out. Like, she didn't know how to react to that.
I think what Adam is trying to say in summation is, and he'll probably give a point in a second, men are attracted by the eye gate, women are attracted by the ear gate. So what they hear.
It's what they hear,
and what men are attracted by what they see. So a lot of girls that I've talked to in the past, either gone on date with or pursued, I asked them, like, what are you attracted to? And they're like, what kind of man are you attracted to? They're like, I don't really have a type.
Linda was that way.
Yeah, they don't really say I have a type. And I'm like, and to a man, if a woman asks me what my type is, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we know.
Yeah.
We know. And that's what she's missing, is it's not the prescriptions. A lot of the prescriptions Andrew Tate gives, most of them I agree with. A lot of them, some of them I don't, with the sexual stuff we were talking about. But the overall message of helping men to stand up and be masculine again is their message.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was another thing. Like, godly was her first list of virtues that, like, a man must have. And he was even bringing up the point, well, why don't you date a pastor then? Because pastors don't really make good money.
They don't.
Like, they don't.
Unless they have a book deal and
the
they
idea
travel.
of her being, like, dead set against, like, men caring about how much money they make. Obviously, to some internal degree, she cares about it too, because she didn't end up with a pastor.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be a pastor. I mean,
I thought you were going to say a
but I'm saying, like, we know godly men who are weak and who are pushovers and who have weak mentalities.
What she did was she said godly men, and then she named off all these very valuable virtues. He's strong. He can take care of me and my family. He has integrity. He can do blah, blah. Like, she named so many things. But the thing that still has me hung up is how she mentioned all these problems of society with men. And then she said, and Andrew Tate's giving away for men to be out of that antidote, that answer. Okay, why is that bad if he's helping men to know that they don't have to be victimized anymore, that they can take control of their own lives? That's a valuable thing.
Bring up a good point, but you've never been a man. So you're arguing with me, a grown man, and amongst other men, what it's like to be a man and what we're feeling. I can assure you this, my lovely friend, the number one thing that men are not taking from Andrew Tate is the matriarchy's coming against you and you can't go out and talk to women.
Exactly.
It's actually the exact opposite. It's, oh, you want more women in your life? You want more success in your life? You want better cars, bigger things, bigger dreams, more beautiful women in your life? Follow these steps. Not, you're a victim. I understand you. I'll give you a hug. Let me show you what's going on.
Adam,
in society.
you used one of Andrew Tate's words that he uses to describe the attack on masculinity about an hour ago on this show. That's how deeply Andrew Tate's message is in your own mind. I'm observing it.
What's the word?
The Matrix.
Okay.
He's the one that made that word long after the movie become a staple in every young man's vocabulary. The Matrix is after you. Here's how you avoid the Matrix. Here's how you're successful in spite of the Matrix. I'm not telling you how to feel. You can feel however you want. I'm observing how young men react.
Because I said the word.
Let's ask a different question here. Because I'm still trying to figure out where. Okay, so Tom, question for you. That video right there with how to take 3 virginities per year. What do you think about it? As a father of 2 girls, would you want your daughters to watch that video?
That's a G right there.
Well, I'll speak as a person who once upon a time wasn't a father of 2 girls. I see what they're doing, and they're providing a prescription for basically men that are under attack in modern society, and I think it's pretty horrifying. However, what's equally horrifying is there are, this is not one-sided. There are women that are living in this fallen world who do not have godly foundations, who are playing into it as well. So this is not a zero game. But it's indicative of a fallen world that lives without foundation, that will be led to the most base of our animal instincts. And I think they're providing a very, intricate plan on how to play and roam and succeed in that construct. That's the construct of life we have. And you know what? It's not my construct. And it's not a construct that I want my daughters to buy into or be a part of, but it's a construct. But there's women that are playing into that without godly foundations as well. And that's the game.
Okay, so let me give my feedback and then we can go to the next story. Number one, I don't know why he makes that video. I would never make a video like that to say how many virginities you take per year, et cetera, et cetera. If you date, and if you have a sister, your dynamics changes in the way you view the world, because you're so protective of your sister. So in your mind, if you're afraid of God and you have the fear of God, you fear what you do to girls one day is going to come back and someone's going to do it to your sister or they're going to do it to your kids. So that fear of God is a very powerful thing to have. I had that since I was a kid, so it messed with me a lot because I had an older sister and I'm super protective. Now, for me, my daughters are going to watch that video.
Smart.
I'm going to have both of my girls watch that video when they get to an age. And I'm going to say, hey, check this out, girls. Here's a guy named Tristan, okay? I've spent time with him. I actually like this guy. And by the way, if you're also not too careful, you will also like guys like this because they're out there, because they're charming, they're sexy, they're attractive, but their outcomes are different outcomes. So someone is going to try to take your virginity away from you, okay? You only get to say that once. God willing, it's your choice, and it's somebody you love that maybe leads to you getting married or you save yourself. That's a choice you got to make as an individual. And as a parent, you got to prepare them, okay? Putting them in the right environment, God, all of those things you got to do yourself. So one, they're watching that video to know exactly what some of the tactics may be. Number two, I think, strategies out there, most men have no clue on how to date a girl. No clue on how to date a girl. There's strategies on how to date a coworker. There's strategies on how to date areas, what markets to target. Heck, there was a documentary, Wedding Crashers, where you can go, and target funerals. If you remember, Will Ferrell rocked the funerals, right? That was his
I watched
strategy.
that documentary
Many times. Some lived it, some watched it. But to Neil, what's the guy's name? Neil Strauss,
Neil
who wrote
Strauss,
the book, The Game. One guy, him and I were talking. I'm at Harvard. I'm talking to the guy in 2015. I said, Neil, I want to bring you on. I'll never forget what he said. He says, Pat, I don't want to talk about the book, The Game. I said, why? He says, because I'm actually married right now with kids. My life's changed. I actually never wanted to. Now, I'm embarrassed of writing that book. Some words he used, right?
I have a daughter, and I like how PBD brought it back to the first part of the video. I have a daughter. I am absolutely going to warn her of men like that out there. That video to me is disgusting because it is making it so that men have a way now to get the prize, which the prize out there in the dating world is what? A virgin, right? They see that as the prize, and how to manipulate them in order to take their virginity. I hate that. It kind of drifted from there to, are the Tates good for society? And we've already went through, I'm not going to say it again, but there's things you take, things you discard, but you can't take everything as bad because you disagree with one thing.
Yeah.
That's what makes you a strong man, is knowing how to chew the meat and spit out the bones.
Exactly.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At that time of the recording, I don't think the Tates had children, and now they do. They have daughters.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I imagine to some degree, if Tristan was reminded that he even made this video, he probably, at this point, because they make so much content, he probably doesn't even remember he made that video. He would probably be ashamed of that a little bit too.
Yeah, when you start to have girls, man, it changes everything.
Yeah.
It makes me so mad when I think of men taking advantage of women, because I imagine my daughter being in that situation, and it boils me up, bro. It boils me up because I got a little baby girl, and I will burn the buildings to the ground if it comes to protecting her. So.
I think it also shows how important it is for fathers to be involved in their daughters' dating lives. Because, if someone like that comes along and starts charming the hell out of your daughter, she's not going to know any better, but you as a man will.
That's why you have to raise her right, so she can see it coming a mile away. Because
but ultimately she's not a man. You could teach her to see it coming, and she still be charmed.
Well, that's
out of her
why
pants.
as my daughter's growing up, I'm going to teach her deceitful tactics that men use. And again, she's not a man, but you can prep. Is better than not knowing anything. You know what I mean?
All I'm going to say is, if I have a daughter, and even if I teach her how to avoid men like that, I'm still going to be watching closely.
Of course.
Yeah, hang a shotgun outside the door.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you. You can see more videos right here and here. We do reaction videos almost every day during the week. And Isaac's final statement.
If you can feel it in your plums, subscribe for more.
Peace.